Alrighty, folks, it's the age-old conversation in real estate, how to convert leads in a challenging market, how to convert leads in a up and robust market. The conversation really, guys, is always the same. And today I am really, really pumped to kind of talk about a different concept in this, about how we can kind of change our mindset and lead conversion from always being takers and receivers and then being givers in those conversations in order to increase conversions, better relationships, and just have more clients to serve. I'm Patrick. For those of you who don't know me, I'm one of the coaches at Hatch Coaching. I am based out of Indianapolis, Indiana. I run a micro team where me and a couple partners sell over 150 houses a year, not counting our independent agents that are also selling homes. And guys, we do it because we love our people, we love our processes, and we love just having really great conversations with all sorts of leads, whether they're with our sphere, our past clients, our online leads, our Zillow leads, our portal leads, our PPC leads, our cold call leads, our FSBO leads. It all is the same. It doesn't really matter where they come from all the time. It just matters that you show up to give in these conversations. I did a speech in Louisville a few months ago, and the topic of that speech was mastering the art of lead conversion. And I had 5 different things that I talked about in this talk. And one of them was just this simple concept of showing up to give in lead conversion. And honestly, I think it's like the most robust concept out of all the 5 that I had talked about. There's all these like routines and cadences and strategies and text messages that you can send and scripts that you can use and words that you can say. But just the principle of just showing up and being a giver will obviously like guarantee your success in these lead conversion conversations. So let's just jump right in. I'm going to teach you guys here today over the next hour the principles of being a giver, the questions to ask in order for you to give, and the mindset that you need to have as you go into lead conversion. We are in a market, obviously, where lead conversion is just slightly more challenging. And so we want to be able to be different. We want to be a pattern interrupt from everybody else who is trying to do lead conversion today. Okay. There's this concept out there. It's not a concept, it's a thing, it's a real thing. When we can tell that someone is showing up for us in our lives, when we can tell that someone comes into our life and wants absolutely nothing from us, simply just to give selflessly, to help you accomplish things, to help you achieve your goals faster than you would without them, we as the receiver are grateful for that. And in return, we want to give that person everything. I want you guys to think about somebody in your life today who has always been that, who has been somebody that showed up for you immediately and gave everything of themselves to you. And I want you to think about how you react to them. You want to give more of yourself to them, obviously, right? They make you feel good. They make you feel smarter. They make you feel wiser. They allow you to have more energy. Okay? I believe it's our job as fiduciaries, as consultants, as real estate agents to our people to make them feel that way. To not take everything from them and make it a transactional thing, but to give them everything that they need so that they want more. Okay? To make them feel whole, to make them feel like we're walking them through the process, to make them more educated and prepared than they ever would have been. And guys, this can happen in the first conversation you have with any kind of lead. Popular lead conversion techniques teach us how to take things from people. They teach us how to ask a bajillion questions. They teach us how to want more and pull that rope, and we're pulling them and pulling them and pulling them until we get everything that we want. As people know what we're doing now in lead conversion. At Hatch Coaching, we pride ourselves in being some of the best lead conversion teachers and trainers and coaches. And the whole idea of asking questions is not just to take from them so that we get what we want, but it's also coupled with the idea so that we can give to them what they need. So there's this healthy balance all the time in lead conversion of getting both, getting the information that you need, but also equally giving and giving more. Okay. So as you guys are taking notes here, I'm going to throw up a couple things on this whiteboard in the Zoom so you guys can take some notes and make sure that you're writing down the right questions. I also want to encourage you in lead conversion moving forward, whether it's today when you start a call blitz or tomorrow when you start a texting campaign or any other time. I want to encourage you to take these things that you learned today to switch your mindset. A lot of us right now in real estate, we need a mindset change. There are some of us that it just feels like we're just running up a hill, okay? And we're not getting any results, like we're just running in that hills like a treadmill, okay? Our mindsets we're gonna create pathways in our brain that make lead conversion harder, that make sales harder for us. And I hope today you find this as a refreshing change in your mindset so you can look at this as an opportunity to serve people and give to people versus just trying to get a result, okay? The first thing I want to encourage you guys to do in real estate or in conversion, as you take notes here. First thing is I want you from now on in lead conversion or lead generation to remove the end result from your mind in every conversation that you have. Write this down. Remove the end result from my mind. When we go into lead gen, whether we're doing it in a group, whether we're doing it on our own, whether we're doing it part as a challenge or an accountability group in our real estate teams, we always are focused on the end result. We're focused on appointment set. We're focused on conversation ratios. We're focused on all of these things. And when we're focused on those things like appointments and ratios, the conversations that we have are generally not quality, okay? When we're focused on getting an appointment, we sound like an agent in desperation versus an agent in abundance. I want you guys to be thinking about, what does an agent in desperation sound like? What does a salesperson in desperation with the end result in mind sound like? It sounds like he or she sounds like a closer. He or she sounds like somebody who's transactional, who's not relational, okay? Inversely, what does an agent in abundance sound like? What does an agent who is a giver sound like to somebody on the other end of the phone or somebody on the other end of that text message thread? You guys ever met someone in sales who truly just wants to give to you? They want to hear what you want and they want to give what you want. An agent in abundance who is a giver sounds like a guide. It's a word I want you guys to write down as you're taking down notes in this, okay? A guide. Ask yourself a question: am I a guide in my lead gen? Am I being a guide to these people? Think about every story, the greatest Disney movies of all time. Do you ever notice that the best stories in life always include a guide? Always. Star Wars, Wizard of Oz. Poor Dorothy, she wouldn't have got there without the lion and the scarecrow and the Tin Man. And it appeared as if Dorothy was helping them, but guys, they helped her. It was a reciprocal relationship. Dorothy needed to find her way home, and these folks helped her find the Wizard of Oz. A guide always saves the day. We have to look at ourselves as a guide. We have to switch our mindsets to remove the end result from our mind. We are not trying to get something that we want. We want to get them what they want. Okay? How do we accomplish doing this? The first place I want to take this conversation are the 5 principles of being a giver. This book right here changed everything for me. I want to give Bob Berg all the credit for our success here in a team, because our team believes in this concept. This book is called The Go-Giver. If you have not read it, you need to read it. If you have read it, use this next 15 minutes that I'm getting ready to dive in on the principles of being a giver as a refresher of why you do what you do. Okay? I'm going to share my screen here and talk to you guys about the 5 principles of giving and being a giver. And I want to talk to you about what that means in our industry in regards to lead conversion and generation. The 5 laws of stratospheric success. The first one is the law of value. The law of value simply states that your true worth is determined by how much more you give in value than what you take in payment. How much more you give in value than what you take in payment. In other words, like when someone sees that you are worth their time and their wanting to give more of you because your expertise is also worth something, they'll give you their time and they'll let you help them with what they need. Okay? Asking people LP Mama questions, asking them like 4,000 questions. Hey, what do you want in a home? Right out the gate in the conversation. Hey, I saw that you were on my website. Hey, my name is Patrick. You were on our website, IndyHomeExperts.com. Hey, tell me a little bit more. Like, what are you looking for? And what location? And what price point? What's motivating you? Do you have an agent? How are you going to spend money on this? Are you pre-approved? Or how are you going to buy this? Are you pre-approved? What's the money situation looking like? And oh, hey, can we have an appointment? That is not valuable to them. Can you see that? What are you doing in that conversation? You're pulling their rope. Guys, every person in the world now knows that this is what agents have been trained to do. So when you go into a conversation asking just question after question after question, they're like, every agent I'm gonna call or get a call from because I pressed this button on a website, they're all gonna do the same thing. And you'll notice that they say things like, listen, I'm just looking right now. I'm just looking, I'm not interested. Or no, thank you, I'm not interested right now. Or no, thank you, I'm not interested right now. Or no, thank you, I'm not interested right now, right? When you start asking those questions. It's important to be prepared to give quickly. Your value is absolutely worth more than what you expect to receive in return. Okay? Asking them what they're ultimately wanting to accomplish, you'll be able to walk through some things. You'll be able to say, hey, listen, what's your real estate situation? Hey, I'm happy to help walk you through that. Here's how we've helped others in the past. Let me ask you one more question. I'm going to start helping you. Okay? The key to be valuable to someone is your expertise. And you have to quickly set it up in conversations and in conversion conversations where you say, hey, that's great. You told me what your real estate situation is. I'm going to walk you through exactly how to do this right now over the phone. It'll only take a couple minutes. Let me ask you another quick question. Where do you want to be? It's this dance, right? It's not question, question, question. It's question. Awesome. I'm going to walk you through it. It's going to look like this. Next question. In order for me to walk you through this, I need to know this. That's how I want you to structure your mind. Ask a question, give something in return. Ask a question, give something in return. That is how folks will perceive you as valuable. And when you are perceived as valuable, they will give you their time. Okay? You have to give more of that than what you expect to receive from them. And just going on this concept a little bit deeper, if we're talking about lead conversion here in this conversation, this law of value says the true worth is determined by how much more you give in value than what you expect to receive in payment. In a lead conversion conversation, our version of payment is commitment and it's answers to our questions. So another way to say this law of value is that you have to be willing to give more than what you expect to receive from those people. That makes sense. The law of compensation, second law, says that your income, what you expect to receive, is determined by how many people you serve and how well you serve them. Another way to say this, like how you get paid is a direct result in how many people that you can serve, help, and guide. We talked about what a guide is. A guide is a person who gives, who teaches, who customizes a plan for somebody, an individual, and not everybody. A guide listens to people. Okay? Your income is determined by how well you serve them and how many people you serve. So I want to give you an example in this. In lead conversion, when people say, yeah, I was just looking, we're kind of interested in living in the west of the city and the suburbs. And we're looking around this school district. Okay. And you say, oh, that's wonderful. I can walk you through that whole process. I've helped people just like you in that process. And I'm excited to help you here if we just have like a couple minutes to accomplish this. Tell me like, what kind of house are you looking for? And they tell you, hey, we're looking for like a 3-bed and 2-bath, and we want 1,700 square feet. We need a 2-car garage. A guide is somebody that says, okay, awesome. Here's what we're going to do. I'm actually going to just look it up and just kind of see what it's looking like right now over the phone. So I pull it up right now and I see that there's 8 houses in our market right now that have exactly what you're looking for. And it looks like they're all about in this price point, and they look like they're in about this condition. And I'm seeing that typically they sell in about 7 to 8 days on average. Is this what you saw? Is this what you're seeing online? Yes or no? Okay, that's great. That's wonderful. Hey, another thing I want you to think about is like how to go accomplish this today in the market. So if you want a 3-bed, a 2-bath on the west side of the city in the suburbs, and you need a garage, you need to know that if you see what you like, it's gonna sell in about 8 days or less, okay, from what I'm seeing. So are you prepared to do that? Are you prepared to, make an offer on a home today? What's your timeline? What's your motivation? So I gave them some knowledge right there in that conversation. I gave them something that they now know. It's going to sell in 8 days or less. I gave them something that they likely probably did not know beforehand. We took them by the arm and we walked them through it. That's how well you serve someone. That explains the whole concept of compensation, is serving them well. The third law, the law of influence. Your influence is determined by how abundantly you place other people's interests first. Okay? Another way of saying that is putting people first determines how much influence you can have on them. If you're not putting them first, if you're pulling everything out of them, it's going to be very hard to influence someone. Okay? So some things that I like to say in lead conversion conversations is, I hope that I can be the person who's here for you when it's time. Regardless, I want to prepare you for everything. I want to put you in the best spot for success. So let's talk about how to get you there right now. And you're doing that right there in the conversation, guys. Okay? We're putting them first by saying, hey, I want to be there for you when it's time. I want to be there for you when it's time. Regardless, I'm going to be there to help you prepare for it. And I want to help you prepare for it right now. So I want to put you first here. I want you to drive the ship. There are things, these are literally words that you say in lead conversion. I definitely want you to drive the ship on this. I want to put you in the best spot for success. So tell me more. When are you looking to accomplish this? And I'll tell you how to get there. Give, take, and give. Okay? That is how you can influence people. putting them first, putting them in the driver's seat, and then helping them drive. Let them drive, you help them drive. The fourth law, the law of authenticity. The most valuable gift that you can give people in lead conversion and lead gen is your true self, is offering yourself. I really, really, really want to dive in on this. I know that at this point, you guys might be like looking at this webinar, you might be like, oh, this is kind of minutia. This is like happy feelings, good feelings. Guys, this is like the core of humanity. When people recognize that we are being authentic and we are being ourselves, and oh, by the way, we're also giving to them, all they want is to be aligned with you. When I see someone being their true self and I trust them in every way, and I know that they're not putting on some kind of facade, and I also know that they're not trying to take something from me and pull me into them, I am ready to like connect. I like want to hug this person. That's how we have to be. Lead conversion. It's okay if we're introverts. It's okay if we're extroverts. It doesn't matter who we are. We just have to be ourselves. So here's some things that I've learned in this principle of authenticity. It is okay in lead gen and lead conversion to be vulnerable. There is no scripting that is 100% successful in lead conversion or lead gen. It's okay to think out loud. It's okay to pause in lead conversion. It's okay to tell people that you're nervous. I want you guys to hear this. If you guys are just like getting started or you've never mastered the art of lead conversion with people, it is 100% fine when you start feeling nervous in a conversation. It's 100% fine to say, hey, I'm sorry, I'm a little nervous today. Hey, Mr. Frank, I'm super sorry talking to you. I'm just a little bit nervous today. I do want to help you and I want to get to know you better. So let me start over. Guys, if you were on the other end of that, how would you feel? You feel like, oh man, this person that's a good person. When they know that you're pretending or that you're just checking off boxes and trying to answer trying to get an answer to every one of your questions, you're just like everybody else. It's okay to be vulnerable. There's a book that I'm reading right now. It's called The Unsold Mindset. My man, Robbie T here at Hatch Coaching, my best bud here, he challenged me to read this book. He challenged all of us to read this book. And just in the first chapter of this book, you learn that the best salespeople across the country are the most vulnerable salespeople. They're the people who take a minute to work through things when having a sales pitch. The example of that is when I'm talking to a lead, I do lead conversion today, every day. And when I'm talking to people, and let's say I have a buyer lead on the phone, and I also know that the buyer lead owns a home, and I've asked these appropriate questions. I'll say things like, hey, let's walk through like what your home is worth really quick so that you can understand the buying power of the next house that you buy. I want you to know every little piece of this. It's important that we hit all the dominoes in the right order. Okay. So I'm going to run some numbers on your home right now. Real quick, like tell me your address if they haven't told me it already. You care to tell me your address? And they tell me because I've been giving them something, right? Okay, well, real quick, kind of like tell me on a scale from 1 to 10, how you'd rank your home in quality from 1 to 10. 10 being the thing that you see Chip and Joanna do on HGTV, and 0 being like a van down by the river that's broken down. Where would you rank your home? And they'll tell me 6, 7, or 8. I'll be like, awesome, I'm going to run some numbers right now. Okay, here's what I'm pulling up. It looks like your house is this square footage, has this many square feet. Looks like you have this many bedrooms. Is that correct? Okay. Now I'm seeing that there's about 7 or 8 homes in your neighborhood that have sold. Have you seen these online? Here's a couple of their addresses. How would you rank yourself against them? Get the answer, move on. Okay, just give me like 12 more seconds. I'm crunching some numbers in the background. And I allow a pause. It's okay to like wait, do the work, show your work. It's okay to be vulnerable. It's okay to wait. It's okay to not be perfect. You don't have to fill up every single space of a conversation. Be authentic, show your work, be just like you normally would be with folks. And that is giving to them. That's refreshing to people. People don't just want to be sold. They want to be heard and they want to receive. Sometimes I think we only teach this one. Like we want to be heard, but we also need something from people. The last law in giving is receptivity. The key to effective giving is to stay open to receiving. When we give to our leads, we also have to be open to and aware of receiving from that person. So when we're walking people through the process, when we say, hey, you know what, I've helped a lot of people through this before, and I want to help you today. I want to be the person that gets you through that, regardless if it's now or later. I want to walk you through it and give you all the steps that you need to be successful in this. So here we go. And while you're giving, be open to clues that they're wanting to receive more. Here's some clues that they want to receive more. They hang on the phone. They hang in there with you. They start asking questions. Hey, what would be the payment on a property like that? They start telling you more about their situation. These are all clues that they are open to receive. They're open to like collaborate with you. They're open to give to you. And you now have to be open to receiving that information. It's also important as you're being a giver that you're not only focused on giving, you are focused on receiving. So you have to ask while you give. And here's a really, really important thing that I believe that you need to write down here. It's a concept that just like kind of clearly hit me square in the chest. We earn the right to get information from people through giving them what they need and want. Let me say that again. We earn the right to get the information that we want from someone by giving them more of what they want. If you think about your lead conversion and you think about all the previous conversations that you've had in lead conversion, if you start by asking a myriad of questions and you continue to hear click, or you continue to see a pause in the conversation via text message, or you continue to hear, hey, I'm not interested right now. Hey, I am not interested right now. It is likely because you didn't give anything. We didn't earn the right to get anything else from them. Every relationship is based on an ebb and flow. Every marriage, every mentorship, every brotherhood or sisterhood, or mom and dad relationship to their kiddos. It is all based on this giving and receiving. Some of us give more, some of us receive more, but there's always that balance. It's how the universe works. It's how capitalism works. It's how all of it works. If we're not getting anything from people, it's likely because we didn't give them enough. So now, in the second half of this webinar, I want you to get some clarity next on what it is that people want so that you can give them what they want in order to receive what you need in order to help them. But let's remember the first law of all of this is that you should be willing and able to give them more than you expect to receive in return. And that's in money, time, answers, compensation, anything. You have to be willing to be more, to give these people more. Okay. So now in order to know what to give, we have to think about what these people want. So what do buyers want? When we talk to any kind of buyer lead on the phone, this is a very basic principle, but we have to remember these things in our head. Buyers want these 6 things. These are the 6 things that they want that we have to be able to give to them. We have to give them insight on these things quickly. And we have to then be able to ask questions in between to make sure that we're giving them the right information. So buyers want homes. They want inventory. That's the number one thing that they want. It's homes. So when you're having a buyer conversation, you get a lead on the phone and you ask them the number one most important question when they get on the phone. And after you do your intro, you say, hey, it's Patrick. Hey, I know I'm calling you out of the blue. Hey, I know that you have no idea who I am, but I'm the owner of this website, or I'm a team member of this website. You were looking at houses for sale. And I just want to know, can you tell me a little bit more about what your real estate situation looks like? Can you tell me what you're looking to accomplish? They will then tell you typically where they want to go, what their situation is, what their motivation is, and sometimes they'll even tell you what they're looking for in a home. That is your opportunity to then show them and give them the inventory. And you have to have a system in place where you can get that information quickly and then give that to them. And guys, I am not talking about setting them up on a saved search. Okay. What I'm talking to you about is getting them that information in real time, really fast, on the phone or in the text messages while you have them and while they're conversing with you. Conversing with you. I'm not great with words. All right, so if somebody's like, yeah, I'm wanting to move to Indianapolis, I'm relocating from Washington State, and I'm just kind of looking right now. I'm thinking about going there because I can work wherever I want, and I'm tired of this high cost of living over here, and I want to go live a really robust life in a Midwestern town with Midwestern values. And like, okay, man, that's really great. Listen, I want to be your guide through that. I want to walk you through it. I help people like this all the time, regardless of when. I want to be there for you. I want to walk you through this thing. I want to grab your arm and I want to show you how to do it here. I want you to drive this ship. Okay. So tell me a little bit more like what you're looking for at a house. And they tell me, and then I immediately start looking. Okay, that's awesome. So if you're looking in Indy and you want this amount of square feet, this is what I'm seeing today. Okay. It looks like, hey, there's about 3 or 4 homes. What you're looking for, like right now, have you seen these? This one on Main Street. Hey, I'm going to text it to you right now. What do you think about this one? We text them the link right there. We give them something. We give them to look at. What happens when you do that? This is a beautiful thing. What happens when you do that? They wait for it. Okay. They may or may not have already seen this online and all the portals and on the Zillow website, and that's okay. They wait for it, and then they'll tell you something. Oh yeah, I've seen that one already. That one doesn't have enough bedrooms. That one doesn't have the backyard that I want. Awesome. Tell me a little bit more about the backyard that you want, and I'll try and find one right now. Oh, well, I want, a fence. I want, 1/4 acre. I want a 1/2 acre, whatever. Okay, I'm pulling this up right now. Tell me a little bit more about what you want. Tell me more about what that does for you and your family. By the way, like, what's your family situation? And you just keep looking to give and asking him questions. You get back to him, you tell him more, you give him the inventory. That's what he wants. Let's give it to him. Okay. Don't just be like, okay, I got everything you need, and I'm going to put you on a safe search. And every single time a house hits, I'll send it to you. And if it's a good match, let me know. Okay. That's what all of us do. And we're not getting real-time feedback. We're also not really giving them anything that anybody else is. One-on-one, attention on what they want is really going to stand out versus, hey, a safe search. Also, just a quick tip on this. We're seeing that we're having a lot better success in converting buyers if we are manually saying, hey, you had told me this in our previous conversation, that this is the kind of house you want, and I found one. What do you think about this via text message or a phone call versus a safe search? It's giving them what they want, and it's intentionally giving them what they want. Okay, the second thing that buyers want, we know this, is they want to know what their monthly payment is, what their monthly payment will be. Guys, when I've done a couple talks about this conversation, I truly feel like this is where we can stand out as agents versus others. I do not want us to pretend to be mortgage lenders at all. But guys, people want to know about their monthly payment, and they want to know about rates, and they want to know about the lending process today, even if they've done it in the past. And we have to be very, very educated on that. You have to be educated on the credit score requirements, the down payment requirements, the current rate environment. You have to be educated on all of those things in order to give them what they want over the phone. So if you ask somebody, hey, I'm getting through your questions, you're like, hey, tell me about your budget. You know, what you're looking to spend on a home. And they tell you a number generally. Or they'll say, hey, we want to be around this in monthly payment. I'm going to immediately say, okay, well, you know, like, tell me how much you have to put down. Tell me what kind of credit score that you have. And I'm just going to run some calculations. Don't take me to the bank on any of this, but I'm going to run some calculations that, you know, if you were to buy this home today, this is what your monthly payment would be like. Or I'm going to reverse engineer it. I'm going to go to the Zillow calculator. I'm going to say, hey, if you're looking for a monthly payment and you've got $1,200 and you have $20,000 to put down, this is about the amount of house that you'll be able to buy. Were you aware of that? Looks like you're going to be able to afford about a $200,000 and $225,000 home. Okay, awesome. You just gave them so much more than they knew. Okay, they probably didn't run the Zillow mortgage calculator. They probably didn't know to put taxes and insurance in this stuff. They probably forgot. Even if they were well-educated buyers, they probably really didn't know what rates were today. Okay, give them the things that they want, like monthly payment, rates, those kind of things. Market knowledge. People want to know what's going on in the market. Let's give it to them. Okay. So, really good question. Hey, what's your understanding of what the market is like today? What the experience in real estate is like today? They'll give you an answer and you're like, hey, you know, that's great. That's exactly what I'm seeing. Or that's a little bit different than what I'm seeing. What I'm seeing is the market behaves like this. The houses sell this quickly. Your specific metrics in your market. We see that buyers are, you know, having to write a few offers on homes before they get it. Or we're seeing that buyers have a lot of opportunity in our market right now, whereas they didn't. Okay. Give them the market knowledge and let them understand what to expect. They want to know what opportunities exist. They want to know, obviously, about rates. You have to be in a place where you can look up rates in real time with your lender. They have to have a resource for that for you. Okay. And then they want to know expectations, how this process works, just like I described, how quickly they'll be looking, how long they'll be looking, how quickly they'll be able to get a home, if they'll have to write offers above list price, if they'll have to write offers under list price in order to get them, if they have any opportunity or if they don't. This is what they want to know, and you have to be able to give it to them in conversations versus just asking a bunch of questions. What do sellers want? If you have a seller lead on the phone, or if you have a buy-side lead on the phone or via text message that you also know owns a home, how can you be valuable to them? How can you give to them? It's these 6 things that I have in front of you right here. They want to know what their home is worth. You're an expert. You can do this. I really believe that we have landed a ton of appointments, contracts, clients, and closings because we on my team are willing to provide this information without the obligation of a listing consultation or a strategy session or whatever it is that we want to call it. We will give them this information without them even asking for it. We will give them this information without saying that we need an appointment. Most agents are not willing to do that. And I get pushback on it sometimes because they'll say, hey, well, I'm not comfortable like giving them a range of value without seeing their home. Guys, if you're not going to give them anything, it's very, very unlikely that they want to, set up time out of their schedule in order to give you something. So what we do a lot is when we talk to buyers who have homes for sale, or not homes for sale, but buyers who own homes themselves, or if we get seller leads that come into our CRM, is we initiate conversations with them and we jump right into it. Hey, if you're a buyer and you're looking to buy, one of the best things that we're going to do is we need to make sure that we hit that first domino right in order for the second domino to fall. And that second domino is you buying your dream house. In order for you to buy your dream house, it sounds like you may need to sell your home. So let's talk about that first domino, because if you get in front of the second domino and the first domino is not falling, that second domino is not going to fall either. So I want to talk to you a little bit and help you through kind of getting the value of your home. Here, if I ask you some questions about your home that you currently live in. Perfect. Do you care if I tell you what I think your home would sell for in this market today? Okay, great. Let's answer a couple questions on that. Okay. Scale from 1 to 10, how's your house? Perfect. You get that information and you just start doing a CMA right there on the phone or via text. And you say, hey, I'm seeing that your house today, it's worth about $375 to $425. It really depends on the condition, but that's what I'm seeing today. I know it's a wide range. What did you think about that number? Oh, okay, you wanted to be, more around 425. You absolutely could be. I will have to see your house at some point, but what other things do you want to know about the market? I'm prepared to give you some more information. And you just keep setting yourself up to give. Sellers want to know how to do it. They want to know how it's going to go. You got to walk them through that process after you talk about value, right? You're doing this on the phone in the initial conversation. If they have motivation to move and they have to knock over that domino, give it to them now. Do not just go for an appointment. They want to know days on market. They want to know what the market's performing like, how many people are going to come into their home for a showing, how long is it going to take to sell, all of those things. What are people going to offer? Are they going to be lowballing me? Are we getting offers over list price? What's happening? That's what they want to know. That whole next domino thing, which domino do they have to knock over first? You help them with that immediately. You don't just wait for an appointment, and you set up expectations. That is what buyers and sellers want. We got to give it to them immediately. Every time we give them a nugget of value, give them a nugget of how to do this process, we give them a nugget of days on market, they then will be willing to give us a nugget of their intentions, their motivations, their time, and an appointment. All right, so now we're going to step into, in the last 15 minutes here, we're going to step into the best questions to ask leads to set up the opportunity for you to give. When a lead comes in, whether it's a hot one or it's your 18th phone call and you finally got them on the phone, the best questions to ask after your intro are these right here in front of you. Hey, do you care to share with me what your real estate situation is? Do your intro, ask a question, be prepared to give. Let me play this out for you, okay? Hey, this is Patrick Keller. I'm the owner of IndyHomeExperts.com. I saw that you're on my website looking at homes for sale in Plainfield, Indiana. I'm actually an agent right there. I know I'm calling you out of the blue. I know sometimes it's annoying to get sales calls. But listen, I'm just here to help. I know you don't know who I am, but I want to understand your situation better. So do you care to share with me what your real estate situation is? I was vulnerable. I was authentic. I gave them the right to feel like I'm an annoying salesperson. I gave them permission to understand that they have no idea who I am. I gave them permission. I let the air out of the room that I also know that they are feeling a little weird on the other end of this call or the other end of this text. And by doing that and that whole setup and that intro, their shoulders are dropping. And they're like, okay, this guy's authentic. He's being real. He understands, who he is and who he can come across as. I want to tell him something. Guys, I believe that intro right there could totally change the dynamics of your lead conversion. And I hear people not doing it, and we coach on this. I have my coaching clients, we coach on this. And it's really hard for them to say, like, hey, I get it. I'm calling you out of the blue. I know it can be a little annoying, but I'm just here to understand your situation a little bit better. Will you please tell me what your real estate situation is? Opens up everything. Their shoulders drop, they're ready to give. They tell you everything generally, right? They tell you where, sometimes they tell you when, they tell you where they're at now, where they're wanting to go. Sometimes they even tell you how much they want to spend, and they'll tell you if somebody's helping them. They'll tell you if they're pre-approved. With this just one question, this one question unpacks so much. Now, I'm encouraging you, do not be the person who repeats everything that they say. They know that that's sales. Okay. So don't be like, okay, I heard you tell me that you want to be here and you want to spend this and you currently live here and you're pre-approved here. I'm hearing all this. Okay, that's great. Don't do that. Say, hey, I got all this. This is awesome. I'm super excited to be your guide in this and kind of like walk you through it. I'm assuming I'm their agent without even them telling me that I am their agent, right? And here's what I think. Here's what I see on the market now. Is this what you're seeing? Do you like these things? We start sending them homes. We start talking about payments. We start talking about what to expect in the market. We ask them if that's their understanding. Okay. What are you looking to achieve? If they don't give you the things that I just described in that initial question, you move on to, okay, well, what are you ideally looking for? Let me take a step back. If you ask them, hey, do you care with me to share with me what your real estate situation is? Sometimes you haven't dropped their shoulders enough. Sometimes they don't feel like you're ready to give them enough. And they'll say things like, hey, just looking, I'm really not interested right now. Hey, it's totally fine. I understand. I really just kind of was curious, like what you were trying to achieve, so I can set myself up to help you through that process so that you achieve it faster with me than you would without me. That's a beautiful line right there. Hey, I want you to achieve this goal faster than you would without me. We just heard that phrase and said in another way at the Hatch Mastermind when we were in Coeur d'Alene last week. And man, that just like resounded with me. That's what we're all doing. We're helping people achieve stuff faster than they would without us. They're ready for you to give. What ideally are you looking to spend? What is your understanding of the market today? What have you heard others say about our market? What is your understanding of the process of home buying or home selling today? It's important that you ask these kind of questions versus where, how much, when. When we know what their understanding of the market is today, we're able to give them the insights of how the market is behaving today. When we ask them what others have told them about the market, we get to know what their expectations are of the market. We get the opportunity to give them some insight where it is, right? What's your understanding of the process? If they don't know the process, we get the chance to give it to them. These are all take, give, take questions. Set yourself always up to give. So guys, I'm going to open it up here in the next few minutes. If you guys have any questions for me, if you guys have any pushback on what I've said, I want you to throw it in the chat right now, because I'll be ready to field it and answer it. The substance of influence, it's right here behind me, is pulling and not pushing. Okay. So if you guys want to be able to give to people, we have to ask the right questions and then we have to be ready to give. It's the 1-2 punch all the time. There's one basic thing that I would tell you in being a better lead converter. It is asking a question and then being able to give them something very quickly in return. I know that sounds like a lot of pressure, but y'all are experts and you do know what you're doing. So don't forget the 5 laws of value here, the 5 laws of giving right out the gate. Your true worth is determined on how much you give in value more than what you take in payment. Your income is determined by how many people you serve and how well you serve them. Your influence is determined by how abundantly you place other people's interests first. Your most valuable gift you have to offer is yourself. And the key to effective giving is to make sure that you're asking questions in order to receive. Guys, I really hope I helped you change your mindset today in lead conversion. Be ready to give at all times, and then you will be ready to receive. I want to tell you one final story of how I've seen this in action in my own real estate sales journey multiple times. I was in an open house one time, and I was training one of my agents how to do open houses. Guys, everything that we do as agents is lead conversion, right? Without leads, we are nothing. We don't have a business. So I was in an open house. It was a busy open house. And what I teach my agents to do in open houses is when they come in the door, we never say, hey, go over here and sign in on this sign-in sheet. We never say that. We never say, hey, thanks for coming in. The seller asked that you sign in. And so if you can go over here and sign in, you help yourself to some cookies. We don't do that crap. Okay. When they walk in the door, the first thing I teach my agents to say is, hey, welcome to the open house. I'm Patrick. It's really nice to meet you. What's your name? You get their name. And you say, awesome. Like, where did you see this open house? Did you see it driving by? Or did you see it online? They'll tell you one of two things, right? Hey, we were just driving by, or we did see it online. If they say they saw it online, that's a cue for you. Hey, they've been looking. They've been in the market for a while. And so it's time to ask some questions. And so what I immediately train my agents to do is literally at the front door, like in the living room. You guys might give me some pushback on this, I get it, but I just start turning it into give and take. So I'm like, oh, that's really cool. You've been looking online. Tell me, like, what are you guys trying to accomplish? What is your real estate situation? Tell me a little bit more about what you guys want to do. And they tell me, and I'm like, oh, that's great. So you want to be here. That's awesome. I know that the market in this area is a little bit strange. I looked the other day. There's about this many homes in the market and they sell pretty quick. When are you guys wanting to accomplish this? And I ask and I give and I ask and I give. And I walk these people through in this situation. I walk them through not only like how to get pre-approved, but what their monthly payment would look like. I took them over to the kitchen and I was like running scenarios, mortgage scenarios, and showing them the inventory on the market. They hadn't even looked at the house. I just immediately was like, hey, let me help you through this. I'm excited to help you through this. Let's do this. And I just start helping them. I give and I give and I give. And in this process, and I'm doing all this, I look over and there's this young couple in the corner and they're just standing there. It's really kind of awkward, but they're just standing there in a corner. And I noticed that like they're looking at me every once in a while. I even look over at them at one point and I was like, hey guys, I'm gonna like finish helping these folks out. I'll be like right with you, okay? Because I can tell that they're waiting on me. And I finish this all up. I get these people's information. I get the text message, 3-way text message into the lender. We have a great relationship going. I have them not only on a safe search, but we've looked at homes together and we did this in like 5 or 10 minutes because we're quick to give and receive and to give and receive. I told them the whole process. And I finished, I'm like, hey guys, thank you so much. Like, we're going to be in contact today and we're going to see if any of these others fit. I'm going to see how the conversation with Chris, our lender, went. And I look over here in the corner and I'm like, hey guys, like, what's going on? And they come over and they're like, hey, we were curious if you would walk us through that. It's like, yeah, I would love to. They said, we went to 2 open houses today and no one helped us. And we were actually just kind of looking for some guidance. We don't know what we're doing. Those people would have never asked me for help, and they didn't ask the other agents for help because the agents never gave them anything. These people saw me giving the other folks insight. They saw me showing them how to walk through the process. They heard it and they wanted it. They wanted those 6 things that I just detailed you what buyers wanted, and no one told them. Someone either asked something of them, like go sign in over here on the sheet, or they asked them, what do you want? 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 Okay, awesome. Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna set you up on a safe search. If you see anything that you want, let me know. And I'm gonna, here's the number for a lender. You call them and get pre-approved. And then after you get pre-approved, you just give me a call. That's the nature of our market. Assume being their agent before they tell you. Help them before you get anything in return. Help them before you get that pre-approval. Help them before you even get any insight on if they're able to do it or not. Just give. And I got 2 clients that day from being helpful. They waited for us. And that was such a beautiful thing. And that was just insight of like, hey, what we're doing makes sense. I hope you guys find this valuable. I hope you guys turn into go-givers in this world. Read this book. If you guys have any interest in having a strategy session with me on how to sell more homes, how to build a micro team, how to build a partner model that gives you your life back so that you can enjoy more of your life while selling more homes, any of those things, I coach on these things every single week. And I'd love to help you guys. You can go to meetpk.co. That's meetpk.co. You can schedule a consultation with me anytime to take a deeper dive on your business in order to sell more homes, find more freedom, and convert at a higher level. That's what I love to do. Hope you guys are great. I'll talk to you soon. Love y'all. Take care.